I'm going to show you how to go from that
to this.
So my table saw pulleys, they're aluminum right now. They're the ones that came with this thing, and I've gotten to the point I'm tired of constantly tightening up the set keys constantly. Basically, as the belt goes across them, it heats it up, they expand, they contract, the set screw works out. So I'm going to replace the aluminum ones with cast steel, and I'm going to do both the motor and the arbor. And then I'm also going to put a link belt on here, so I'm going to go about doing that, and hopefully we'll eliminate that rattle you hear. Even with heavy duty Loctite, I was not able to, calm it down. I've done as much tuning as I possibly could with making sure the belt perfectly straight between the arbor and the motor, and the pulleys were in perfect alignment, but the belt was just getting warm enough over enough period of time of constant use that it was constantly creating the pulleys to expand, and as a result they were working loose set screws. So I'm going to go ahead and replace these, and hopefully we'll eliminate the vibration as well as the rattle from the loose pulleys. So, question of the day: what upgrades have you done to your table saw? Comment below. So the first step with any work on your power equipment is, as always, is to unplug it. I've already gone ahead and done that, and my little homemade dust shroud back here it's pretty much seen better days. It's been really abused and beat up, so I'm just going to take that and open that up. Now, it helps keep a lot of dust and stuff in there. As you can see, it's really built up. I've got this connected to the dust collector, but it still causes some wear and stuff, and the dust just allows the tape to break down and everything. So my next step here, what I do is I'm going to lift the motor up and basically take the belt off the arbor and the motor. This is just a standard V-belt, but I mean the pulley is this one is pretty straight. You can see here there's a slight lip. It's worked itself off just a little, and that is with blue Loctite on both the set screws. Now the arbor one, which is deeper inside there, is harder to see right now because of all the stuff that's in the way, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this belt shroud off and then undo the motor so it'll flip down. Little tip here: this hole that I drilled in this belt shroud is perfectly aligned with the screw that holds the bracket, so when it flips down like this, so basically no matter where, as long as it's fully extended down like that, it's perfectly in line with the screw. It makes it a lot easier than having to pull this off every time to reset the nut and the set screws in the arbor pulley. But hopefully I can do away with that and just set it once and forget about it. So with my motor, the outside of my cover broke off a long time ago, so I've just been letting it be unguarded. Probably not the safest thing, but where my motor is, it's kind of tucked away back between the legs of my bench, so it's not that really critical. I've got 4 5/16 screws or nuts that I have to take off that'll allow this belt guard to pop off. There's also little washers that are on each stud as well. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video, hit like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. When you're actually done with a project or getting ready to do finishing, well, I did all my finishing out in the garage, so I don't have that luxury. Alright, so since I got the motor housing or the blade guard off, you can see this big screw, this screw right here. This is for me, it's a number 3 Phillips on this Craftsman saw, and it helps keep the motor from obviously swinging down all the way like that. And there's a spring right here also that keeps tension on it. What I'm going to do is just undo that so I can get back in here where the arbor pulley is. So there's my arbor pulley. It's up in here. It's got 2 set screws that are 90 degrees apart, and I mean you can see there's a little bit of wobble to it, and that's because the set screws have actually worked themselves out some. So that wobble is what's causing the extreme vibration. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to undo that and put the steel ones on there, and hopefully that'll reduce the heat. So with mine, these set screws are 3mm, no good way here, right here, It's a 3mm set screw, and there's two of them. One right there, and one right there. So I'm going to pull those set screws all out, take a look at the shaft, and clean it up and everything, get all the gunk off so the pulley rides smooth. So, as you can see, it's pretty grimy in there. One set key was pretty stiff, the other one was really loose, and I actually mean not set key but set screw. So I mean, you can see basically how much it's been wearing and slopping around. The Arbor key, I mean, it's got, you can see how I've tightened the set screw down on it. It's still nice and flat, so there's no wear or anything on it. So I'll probably just reuse the same set screw or set key on that one. It's definitely going to be a better ride. Now this pulley here is a little bit bigger. This is like a 2 1/4 aluminum forged or cast aluminum pulley, whereas this one here is a 2 1/2. But if I keep the pulleys the same, the ratio will still be a 1-to-1, and with a bigger diameter, it may actually allow the belt to grip a little more. So I have read that the optimal speed on a blade is about 3,800 RPM, and on a 3,600 RPM motor, it would actually make more sense to have a larger pulley, a little bit larger on your motor, and then a little bit smaller on your arbor, and that would create that optimal speed. I just have two 2 1/2s versus 2 2 1/4 is what I'm going to do. So now I've got this one off. I'm going to clean up the arbor shaft and we'll put the new one on. That arbor shaft right there, you can see how it's pretty nasty looking. I mean, and that's where this set screw was anchored into it pretty hard. I mean, you can see it's marred into it. I mean, that's how hard I was trying to keep this thing from moving, and it was still moving or backing off. So I'll clean this up with some denatured alcohol or something to clean it up really nice, and then I'll put the new pulley on. So the motor has basically the same pulley. We'll just undo the set screws. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video, hit like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. So I didn't even have to let it sit for very long, and it pulls off pretty good. You can see some of the gunk actually coming off here on the shaft from the penetrating oil on my fingers. So penetrating oil is generally really good at doing this.
Oil to free it up.
Getting this stuff off. You can see here how the set key is actually scarred, and so is the shaft where that other set screw was. That's because I was turning it so hard to keep that pulley stationary that it basically impacted into it. But hopefully with these new pulleys it'll go much smoother. Pull the set key out here and clean it up as well. That way it'll be nice and clean when I go to slip it back in. Clean up the groove. Basically do some good old maintenance on this thing, because it's, with that heating and vibrating and everything, it's had a lot of wear and tear on it. There's no ridging or anything other than where the set screw was. All I'm going to do is I'm going to spray me a little penetrating oil down in where the key goes, and very lightly clean it up. Replace this key because it's still decent. There's no shearing on it or anything. No ridging, just dirt, a little bit of dirt and stuff. I took and filed down that burr that was there. That will allow it to, should slip in fine. I'm going to pull this pulley out and make sure that the set screw in there isn't protruding. And then I'm just going to slip this key, hopefully, right in there just like this, but it's actually a little snug on this pulley. This was the one that was on the arbor. I just want to see how it goes in. If it'll go in as well, because if I have trouble with it going in here, chances are I'm going to have trouble with it going in the one up there too. I think these keys are just a little bit fat for the pulley. I finally got it down to where it slid in. So I've got the pulley on here. I still got to clean the arbor up, and then probably go through the same scenario as I did with this one up there to get the set key to slide in there. So we'll work on that now. Okay, what I've done is I filed down the key just a little bit to remove any of the burrs that would cause it to stick, and that allowed the pulley to slide on. So it's all the way on. All I need to do is tighten the set screw on it and the motor, and everything is completely realigned and everything. So we'll get that tightened now. There's the Arbor Pulley, and there's the motor pulley. And the same with it. There's one set screw. We'll get it tightened up too. So I got the set screws tightened in. They are bored at a slight angle. I wasn't used to that. The original Craftsman ones went in as straight in. These were bored at a slight angle. It actually made it easier because then it wasn't going straight towards the pulley as much, or the sheaves. 5/32 set screw, Allen wrench, set it in, so they're nice and tight. There's no wobble to the pulleys. So we're going to put the belt on, see if it has any rattle or anything. Then we'll swap it out to the link belt. So I just followed the directions how to do the link belt. You disassemble and reassemble. What I did is I also made sure that one important thing is there's a directional arrow on it. It's kind of hard to see, but it does point the direction which the belt rotational force is supposed to go, like that. Put it on there. We'll see how it goes from here. Everything's aligned back up. Should be ready to test run. So after the test run, it appears that this has significantly less vibration. There still is a little bit of vibration, but it's less. So now I'm going to put the belt guard back on and everything and get it going. I also removed one extra length, which puts the tensioner in the middle, which is more where it should be, as opposed to offset from the side. Before it was like way up here. So now it's more in the middle, so there's more play. The belt's a little snugger. You can always add more links. That's the nice thing about a link belt. But I think we're done. We just need to put the belt guard back on and scoot everything back, and we'll do some test cuts. So I went ahead and got it put back the way I had, except instead of using painter's tape on my little dust box on the back, I used duct tape used for duct work.
So here I'm just putting my belt guard back on, and now we'll put the link belt back on.
Keeps the dust in, allows some suck inside, but it'll keep it working really nice. Keep all the dust inside the box, which then will go down the dust collector.